Hello, hello. Good morning. It is Tuesday. This is Tuesday, 26th of July. I am on my way to work. It's the first day in several weeks I haven't had my youngest in the car with me on the way to work. Summer school's done and we are having a little bit of a break, and then we will be back into the normal routine, which I don't know about y'all, but routines are super important for me. In general, we are creatures of habit. It's truly, sorry, I'm driving. It's truly what helps us stay consistent. Okay. So I know that's challenging for some people. Some people have jobs that are very topsy-turvy. They travel a lot, and then you need to find consistency within that element as well. However, you need to focus in on what happens every single day. So things like you're brushing your teeth in the morning. Okay, I think most of us think, well, yeah, of course, I brush my teeth in the morning, I brush my teeth before bed. Okay, those are routines. Those are things that you do consistently because you have created a habit out of it. So that same concept gets translated to other elements. So meal prepping, working out, sleep habits, the water intake, all of those things you want to make habitual. Habits you don't have to think about. Habits just, I don't want to say they just happen because let's face it, you still got to do it. But habits do not require the same element of mental dexterity that creating time for something that's not a habit creates. Okay, or requires, I should say. So figuring out how you can create these habits is a challenge. And honestly, creating a new habit every single day is not going to happen. You need to figure out how to incorporate something one at a time. All right. So you're not going to wake up one morning and go, oh my gosh, I am going to exercise, eat well, drink my water, and get enough sleep. It's not going to happen. Okay. You have to, I truly encourage people to pick one thing that they're going to work at, one thing that they are going to commit to, and only do like one new thing a week. Figure out how to incorporate it. Creating a new habit can take 60 days or more. So if you try to accomplish too many things at one time, you're going to get frustrated because frankly, you're going to fail. And that's not that's truly not a comment on your ability as an individual or your chances of success. That's just human nature. Okay. You have to do really one thing at a time for success. So, and realize that that's a process. There's a learning curve to this. So if drinking water is your goal, and frankly, drinking water is probably a little easier goal, because you got to drink water. You got to drink anyway. So picking hydrating substances as opposed to something dehydrating, making sure that you're drinking, I try and drink at least 125 ounce cup of water before I hit my coffee. Okay. Trying to incorporate little bits and pieces where you're getting enough water. And I am going to probably drop a reel later this week about how much water to drink. I know a lot of people want to know how much water they should be drinking a day. But incorporating an extra cup in the morning, an extra cup later in the day, an extra cup later in the afternoon, so on and so forth. Okay. That will help you slowly move towards that goal. And don't sit there and go, oh my gosh, I drink 30 ounces of water a day and I'm going to drink a gallon a day. That's not going to happen either. Okay. Start with, hey, 30 ounces a day. Now I'm drinking 60 ounces a day. Once you've gotten 60 ounces down, now let's move you to 80 ounces. Slowly work your way up. Okay. Go from that lower level to the higher level. Okay. My personal water intake is roughly around 145 ounces a day. That's over a gallon, FYI. Okay. So I got to drink 6 of these a day. And so focusing in and trying to get in that cup after cup after cup, it's easier some days than others. All right. Without a doubt, the days that I get up and exercise in the morning, I got 3 in before I'm even at work in the morning. Okay. The days I'm not exercising, because I don't work out every day, I have rest days built in, that tends to be a little more challenging. Okay. So figuring out how to incorporate these elements is key. Okay. So once you've accomplished one, so now say your goal was to drink a gallon of water a day. Now you're drinking a gallon of water a day. You're doing it. You're not thinking about it. Everything's exactly where it should be. And you've hit that goal. Awesome. Okay. Now turn around and go, hey, maybe I now want to incorporate eating more vegetables. Okay. You sit down and you go, okay, I eat 1 vegetable a day if I'm lucky. Okay. Which unfortunately is probably more true than not. So your goal, say, is 5 servings of vegetables a day. That's fantastic. So now you're not going to go from 1 to 5 again overnight. So figure out, okay, first of all, what do you like? Okay. So if you don't like Brussels sprouts, you're not going to eat Brussels sprouts. Don't make that a goal. Okay. If you like broccoli, great. If you like cauliflower, fantastic. If you like carrots, fantastic. Okay. If you like those kinds of, figure out what you like and then create goals around that, and make sure that you have those foods in your pantry, in your refrigerator, ready to go. Okay. Make sure that you are ready to roll. Okay. That's how you set yourself up for success. It is finding the habits, creating opportunity. Okay. So for me, when you talk about drinking water, my opportunity is knowing this is a 25-ounce cup and I need to drink 6 of them a day. All right. Now, you can get those big bottles that say they have the hash marks. I don't like them. That's just me. I know some people love theirs, and that's fantastic. That's a tool, and you set yourself up for success with having the correct tools in hand. So figuring out how to make that happen. Say, I'm going to eat 5 vegetables a day. I go to the grocery store once a week, 7 days a week, or 7 days in a week. So now 5 times 7 is 35. So now you need to buy 35 servings of vegetables for the week. What does that actually look like for you? Is that I'm reading some of these comments. So if you are looking at those foods, maybe that's buying a big bag of, some sort of leafy green. You're buying a couple bags of broccoli. You're buying bag of carrots, whatever that looks like for you. All right. So you do like Brussels sprouts. You buy a bag of Brussels sprouts. Maybe you like kale. You buy a bag of kale. So you figure out what does that look like for you, and then prepare ahead of time so that you can set yourself up for success. So you've got your water. You've worked on your nutrition. FYI, this is kind of how I would encourage you to do this anyway, because the reality is healthy living is staying hydrated and getting good nutrition. That's 80% of it. Okay. And then you move into having enough sleep. Okay. So, sleep is probably something you can kind of work on while you're doing these other things, because let's face it, we all have to sleep every night. That's just human nature, obviously. So going ahead and pushing yourself to get the 7-8 hours of sleep a night. So figuring out how are you going to do that? Does that mean that you set an earlier bedtime because you have to get up by a certain time? Okay. Does that mean having a bedtime routine? We talk about bedtime routines with children all the time because it helps them move into that space where they're ready to go to sleep. So if you can create an environment for yourself over the course of 30 minutes or so where your brain and your body goes, hey, it's time to sleep. Now you're moving into that, and you can actually go to sleep earlier. Creating an environment for good sleep. Cool room, dark room, not a lot of extraneous noise. If you live somewhere that's kind of loud, maybe look at a white noise machine to drown some of that out. If you're in a position where you can wear earplugs, if you need the iPad kind of thing to block out the light, figure out what you need to create that restful space for yourself. Then once you've gotten all those things, then you can start looking at doing some more structured exercise. In the meantime, focusing in on, hey, why don't I look at just walking places that I would normally, park farther away, take the stairs, those kind of non-structured exercise components, start there. Once you've kind of gotten the nutrition and stuff where you want it to be, then you can backtrack and say, okay, now I really want to incorporate some exercise. So pick reasonable goals once again. Okay. And I don't have a problem with shooting for the moon. Okay. Shooting for the moon is great. You're allowed to have those high-end goals. That is totally fine. Set those for yourself. However, realize you are not going to go from couch to marathon overnight. That's not going to happen. So maybe even if the marathon is your goal, you go from couch, maybe you do a couch to 5K. Okay, and you follow that plan. There's lots of those out there. You can look them up. There's lots of free options. Say you want to start strength training. I'm a big fan of strength training. You're not going to go and do any kind of real heavy lifting right off the bat. Get yourself a set of, 2, 3, 5 pound dumbbells and start there. Work up. Okay. You can reach your goals. It just depends how much time you have to commit to them. I really love strength training. I accept the fact that I am not ever going to be a competitor in a strength training competition. I don't have the time in my life to commit to that. I don't. I work full time as a physician. I have small children. I have a family. We have other side things that we do. I do not have the time in my life to commit to doing that, which would be hours a day, heavy lifting. And even though I might really like doing stuff like that, I have to have some balance in my life. So it's not all about that. So once again, priorities and commitments, where do they lie? So this week, I want you to think about what kind of goals do you want to set for yourself. If you're watching, comment, tell me what your goals are. I'd love to know. Okay. I'd love to know what you have planned for the week. And then not just what your goals are. What do you think? What's one tangible thing that you can do to help yourself get to that point? Okay. I would love to hear that. So I hope everyone has a fantastic Tuesday, and I will talk to you later. Let's see if I can figure out how to end it.